Okay, welcome everybody to this really fantastic, meaningful Monday. I am excited beyond words to share this lesson with you, and I'll tell you the reason. The reason is it's the beginning of a new year. So first and foremost, again, happy new year. I wish every one of you the most successful, happy, fulfilling, and prosperous blessed 2019. Now, why I love this and I've decided to put this Meaningful Monday together is because when people start the year, they most often have goals. So do all of you have some goals for the year? Yeah?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. So for anyone who's new to Meaningful Monday, just to tell you, this is really about understanding how we create our own reality. We are not victims. We are definitely the creators of our current circumstances, and we are responsible for our current results. So when you think about goals for this year, goal setting is an intellectual process. So maybe you want to write that down. Goal setting is a mindful intellectual process. You use the faculties of the human mind to set these goals. Okay? That's goal setting. Goal achievement is a lawful process.
Sorry, pardon, a what process?
A lawful process, L-A-W. It applies and works according to law, universal laws. So I'll say it again. Goal setting is an intellectual process using the mind. Goal achievement is a lawful process. This is so important for you to understand, because when you start working towards your goals in 2019, you can put in as much effort as you want to the point of exhaustion, and you still may not get the results you want if you don't understand these laws and if you don't apply them with understanding in your life. So when we say the word law, I just want to make it very clear. You don't have to believe me. This has got nothing to do with Jeanine. This applies whether you believe in it or not. This applies whether you a good person, a bad person, a faithful person, a criminal. It doesn't make any difference. It always applies, and it's always based on a universal truth. So it's not questionable. And because goal achievement is a lawful process, we really need to live every day with a different level of awareness that these laws are always applying. So stop for a second and just understand that where you are now, January 7, it's not that you're going to start working and applying these laws from now going forward. Everything you have in your life right now is a result of the application of these laws already. Your whole life is a result of these laws. So if you look at your current circumstances and you love them, that's wonderful. And maybe you have an awareness of these laws. If you look at your results and there's areas and several areas that you'd like better results or improvement in your life, but you don't know why you don't have these better results, and you've been thinking about better results for a long time, and you really want them, and your intentions are very serious about wanting better results, and you don't have them, please, there's someone with a bit of noise. I'm going to ask you to mute your phone. And if you want to come on, just unmute your phone. Thanks. Okay. So if anyone wants to talk to me, please talk to me anytime. Just unmute your lines. I've muted 2 lines there. So when you're thinking about your own results, if you want better results, just know that the results that you've got up to now that you may not like or you may not be happy with, even those are a result of the application of these universal laws. So they've always been applying, and they always will apply, and they're forever applying every millisecond of every day, consistently, not on Earth, throughout this entire universe. So the benefit for you is, when we go through these 7 laws tonight, and there's 7 I'm going to take you through, you might Google it and see, oh, there are 12 or there are more. Really, when you look at 12, they're actually based on the same 7. So they don't really change. So the 7 I'm going to give you are the most basic 7. And if you get these, boy, you've got them all. And then all it is about, I want to change your awareness and raise your awareness tonight on this webinar. My absolute intention is for you to leave here at the end of 9 o'clock before the meditation with a different awareness. And what I mean by that is, I'm hoping to convey this to you in such a way that your perception of the world changes. Because it's our perception that creates our results in essence. And you'll understand this. Let's talk about perception. If I don't talk about it enough, you remind me. Hi, welcome, David. I see you on there. Thanks so much for joining. So if I don't remind you throughout, you can remind me back. It's about perception. The awareness of these laws will change your perception. And I hope it does, if your perception changes, I promise you, so will your results. And they will change effortlessly. And they will change easily and swiftly. And you will really feel like you're living in the flow. Okay, so let's begin. And if there are any questions at any stage, you just ask me. You don't have to wait for me to ask you if you have a question. Okay, so let's start with this question. My question to you is, do you trust gravity? Do you trust it? Just say yes or no. Do you trust that it will apply? Are you sure the law of gravity will always apply? If I drop this pen, will it fall down?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ben. So the law of gravity always applies. Now, I start with this just to make a bold statement that you don't have to believe in gravity for it to apply. You can step off a 1-story building and be very seriously injured, even if you don't believe in gravity. And this, I'm telling you this because gravity is a universal law. So the laws I'm going to share with you are laws of co-creation, of how everything in this universe is created. And I want you to understand these laws and really know that I'm telling you something that is universally true. And you don't have to believe it to have it apply in your life. Okay, so I'm not too sure which one of these 3 any of you are. Sorry, just say that again. Did somebody say something? No? Okay. Maybe you are an avid student of, for example, the law of attraction. We've all heard the law of attraction. It's a term that's coined, and people make lots of money off it. Maybe you are an avid student. I am. And maybe you're here to say, okay, teach me more. Let me understand more about another level of understanding. Or maybe you're a skeptic and you think, oh, the law of attraction is new age mumbo jumbo. I don't know, I've heard it. Everyone talks about it. Everyone's making money off it. But, I'm still a bit curious. Or maybe you're a person who's never heard of these universal laws. You don't even know what I'm talking about. You've never heard it even phrased before. It doesn't matter, because regardless, universal laws are already working in your life right now, and they are already responsible in governing your current results. They're not biased. They don't depend on your belief. They do not discriminate. They don't care if you're a good person, a bad person, a faithful person, an unfaithful person. The point is they are precise, and this is good news. They're precise, they're consistent, they're eternal, and they're absolutely reliable. So when we know that they're so reliable, we consciously direct our thoughts, our feelings, and our intentions and our actions to work in harmony with these laws. We can create whatever it is that we really want. I'm just trying to find the device that's creating this noise. Okay. I've just muted some of your lines, just because there's a bit of noise there. All right. So if I say to you, you know, would you like to achieve your goals and achieve them faster this year than what you've done in the past? It's possible for you. I'll use this quote here. Only when you have a conscious working knowledge of these laws are you able to be the deliberate creator of your own life experience. So the word is just about being conscious and having the knowledge. So as I said, this is about raising your awareness. Now, just before I give you the laws, let me give you the benefits of applying them. And there's 7 I'm going to go through tonight. So the first one is, once you understand these, you're going to feel empowered to change your results yourself. Every time, any situation, any circumstance, whether it's your health, money, relationships, happiness, spirituality, whatever it may be. It'll also help eliminate confusion. Why is this happening to me? Why do I have good luck? How come I had such, or bad luck? How come I had such good luck last month, but this month I'm having such bad luck? That kind of confusion, how did I create this, is the question I want you to ask yourself. We can eliminate confusion and also eliminate exhaustion. I've personally experienced exhaustion from chasing goals with action and trying to acquire more knowledge, and I never changed any results. And this is years ago, before I understood what these laws are about. Because once you understand them, there's no more confusion, and you don't have to be exhausted, because things happen with ease because of your application of the knowledge that you're going to gain. So it's the feeling when it's working for you that the universe is on your side, that things are working for you, things are happening for you. It's the feeling of being very deliberate about what you create and being deliberate about what you want to experience, and you absolutely make sure that you're going to experience it. So you live on purpose. It's like having a knowing that you will succeed, and you can, and so you should. And this should make you feel empowered. And then, of course, to take the mystery out of success. Some people, you know, just think about success and achievement for a second, and think about people that you know, and we all know people like this. There are people that you know that have got really not much talents or gifts, but they're highly successful. And we know some people who've got enormous talent, enormous gifts, so much potential, incredibly bright, everything that you would think would make them successful, and yet they're not at all successful. I'm telling you this because achievement and success and getting what you want and getting your goals has nothing to do with skill and talent as much as it has to do with knowing how we manifest what it is we desire. So you have a desire first, and then you have the manifestation of it. So the benefits of understanding this tonight is that you take 100% responsibility first. That's what it requires. You have to first say to yourself, maybe say it out loud, I'm not a victim. I create my own reality. I'm 100% responsible for where I am today. 100%. If you even for a millisecond want to blame anybody or any circumstance or any event for any negative results in your life, I'm going to tell you, I can't help you. And nobody can help you. Because until you change that mindset, you're never going to take ownership of your success. You're never going to take ownership of your life. You have to know these laws are universal and they apply whether you believe them or not. And it's true that your current results are a direct reflection of your previous thoughts and feelings, whatever's been going on. And you can take responsibility with the knowledge I'll share with you and create anything you want. So step 1 is to take 100% responsibility, and never, ever, ever, even if you have the slightest inkling to blame anyone or anything, just stop and say, I take 100% responsibility for fixing whatever I want to fix in my life. Okay. All right, so here are the 7 laws we're going to talk about. The first one is called the law of vibration. When people use that term, the law of attraction, they're really talking about the law of vibration. They just use the law of attraction because people know the word attraction. They know what it means. It helps us to just understand that law. But really, it's the law of vibration. Then we'll talk about the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That means the continuous movement of one energy form into another. We'll talk about the law of relativity. We'll talk about the law of polarity, polar opposites. We'll talk about the law of rhythm. There's a rhythm in everything. Up and down, in and out. And then what's also been termed in the past, the law of all laws, is the law of cause and effect. It's like the law. It's like the governing mother law of all laws. And then lastly, but not least, is the law of gender. You know, gender meaning male and female, but really also the law of, when we say gender, meaning gestation, the incubation period. So I'm here to say to you, you can live your best life. You can, full of joy, freedom, and wealth when you understand and apply these laws from 1 to 7. And they all mix together. They all hang together. They all interrelate. So let's start with the law of vibration. The law of vibration is basically, this is science, okay? Just basic science. And just, if you get it, great. If you know it before, wonderful. And if you don't, just try and accept it as it is. It says that everything vibrates. Nothing rests. So if you think about anything in this universe, from an air molecule to the table or your phone or your skin or whatever, everything's made up of atoms, molecules and atoms. And atoms are really just particles of energy at a different degree of vibration. So what I'm saying is, if everything in the universe, from air, space, to physical matter, liquid, solid, or gas, is made up of atoms that are made up of energy, the particles in the atom are in a state of vibration. So that means every single thing in this universe is vibrating. You are at a different rate of vibration to the table. You're at a different rate of vibration to this water. That's why it's liquid. If I change this water with temperature and made it solid, I change its degree of vibration, and with a different rate of vibration, liquid can become solid. Thought, your thoughts. Thought is the most potent form of energy. So I want you to know that thoughts, my friends, because we can't see them or touch them, doesn't mean they're not potent and they're not real. They are very real. They're a very, very powerful form of vibration. Now, we know we can measure thoughts because you can put instrumentation on a person's head up to a machine and you can measure your brain waves. So just to tell you, if you didn't know, thought is the most potent form of energy. Conscious awareness of vibration is called feeling. So we have thoughts going through our head. I think I need more money. I think I can do this, but I'm doubtful that I can. I think I'm going to do well in this thing tomorrow. Or I think I'm going to fail. Whatever it is that your thought is, creates a feeling. When you become aware, oh, I'm thinking I'm going to do badly, or I think I'm going to do really well, whatever it may be, that creates a feeling. That just becomes a conscious awareness of this vibration. So when we talk about the law of vibration, which they call the law of attraction, it says that like attracts like. So positive vibrations attract positive experiences. Negative vibrations attract negative experiences. So when you're not feeling good, you need to change that. You need to become aware of what you're thinking when you're not feeling good. And then you need to deliberately and intentionally think of something pleasant and change that vibration, because like attracts like. So if you're thinking, I'm worried how I'm going to pay my bills, what are you attracting? you're attracting more situations and conditions to worry about how you're going to pay your bills. So let's just say your bank account had no money, but you knew this law and you decided to apply it, and you just kept telling yourself, I'm living in an abundant universe. I am blessed and I am abundant. And you just kept thinking those feelings, and you kept repeating them until you got into the feeling place of having enough. This would attract the opposite of having not enough. It would attract more money into your life. I'm talking about money because it's a measurable thing. It could be anything. It could be love. It could be health. When you're not well and you concentrate on what's wrong with you, you are creating more of that condition. If you have a pain and you keep thinking, oh, I've got this pain, I've got this pain, I've got this pain, you are actually attracting and creating more of this pain. So the last sentence, when you're not feeling good, whether it's money, pain, love, lack of love, sadness, whatever, if you become aware of what you're thinking and then just say, somehow, some way, cancel that thought, change your thinking and think of something pleasant until you're in a feeling place, like your mood, you will then help create more of what you want. So if you're making notes, it's really the bottom line is this. The law of vibration is really this in simple terms. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. So if you think, I don't want X, let's say I don't want to be so frustrated all the time. I don't want to be so frustrated at work. I don't want to be so doesn't matter if you don't want it. That's what you're going to get. Same as if you're feeling good. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. If you think good, happy thoughts and you're feeling good, you're just feeling good all the time, you're going to attract more things into your life that make you feel good. So this simple thing, think happy, be happy, is very, very true. Now, I also want to say to you, you actually have to train yourself up into a higher vibrational place to have a good life. The same as you go to gym and you keep on doing a certain exercise, you train that muscle, it gets stronger and stronger. Okay, you can train in anything. You can, no matter what skill you want, you can train. The same thing applies to this feeling good. You can train yourself to feel good. And you know what, my friends, it takes time. It does. Because I speak from personal experience. There was a time in my life many years ago where I was stressed, anxious, and unhappy so often every day that for me to laugh, if I watched a comedy or to be with good friends and laugh, it felt like a strange feeling. It felt so uncommon. And I realized, Jeanine, you have trained yourself into such a low place. You need to train yourself all the way back up. So I'm telling you this because I want that for you. Now that you know this, you get what you think about. Think happy. How do you think happy? I don't mind what you think about that makes you happy. You can think about anything. I've got a few notes here. You can dance. If dance makes you happy, dance. If singing makes you happy, bloody hell, sing. If playing with your pet, kissing your dog, loving your cat makes you happy, do more of that every day if it puts a smile on your face. If looking at photographs of I don't know what make you happy, look at those photographs. Look at them often. Look at more photographs like that. Whatever it is that makes you happy, do more so you're training your vibration to an upward place. Watch videos that make you feel good. I just want to tell you, a long time ago, I gave up bad, aggressive, violent movies. What am I watching that for? What on earth am I trying to put into my brain? If you want to watch movies, be intentional. Watch good movies that inspire you, motivate you, and make you feel like you want to get up and go and, grab the world and, do something wonderful. So do that. So whatever you do, the bottom line is feel good, feel good, feel good, and practice your vibration to an upward place of feeling good. And the more you do that, the easier it is to be happy every day. Don't you know people who are just always happy? There's some people like that, they're always upbeat and happy. And you get other people, they're always grumpy. You can even try and make their day, they're still grumpy. It's just what they practice. So I'm going to ask you, practice happy. Okay? All right, that's the first one, the law of vibration. The second one is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Really what this says is perpetual means ongoing, always. Transmutation means this movement from one into another, kind of movement from one form to another, transmutation of energy. So energy is forever moving into form, through form, and back into form. It's just the scientific definition. It means that everything is constantly changing. Everything is changing. The desk got my laptop on right now, even though it looks solid, is changing. If you left this desk for 100 years or 1,000, it would disintegrate. This building I'm living in, my apartment building, if you left it for enough 1,000 years, it would crumble and disintegrate. Why? Because everything is moving. It might take long for some atoms and it might take less for other atoms. So if you think about water, if you left it stagnant, it grows algae just very quickly. Food goes off very fast. Everything is forever moving into form and changing. So everything is changing and energy is moving into physical form. Your thoughts are very strong forms of vibration. So your thoughts are always images because you cannot think without images. The human brain thinks in images, whether you knew that or not. And we also feel with emotions, and emotions are a firmer vibration to thought. So the images you hold in your mind most often and the feelings you feel most often, happy, sad, good or bad, are going to materialize into the results in your life. So what are you imagining? Remember, I said you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. You know, even in the Bible, in Proverbs, it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he shall be. What that means is, as a man thinketh in his heart, we think in our head. Well, it says thinketh in his heart because whenever we think a thought, we create a feeling. And a feeling, you know, is an emotion. And we say your heart is your heart space, your emotion space, whether you feel good, feel love, whatever it may be. So as you think, so you become. In the wonderful book of James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, that entire book, which is a phenomenal piece of work, I would recommend anyone read it. It's in quite high English, but if you can go through that, it's fantastic. The entire book is about as a man thinketh, so he shall be. So in your life, if there's things that you want to do and there are goals that you have and you want those goals, let me tell you, if anyone doubts you or doesn't believe in you, don't you dare believe in their thoughts of you. Don't you dare buy into their opinion of you. You stick to what you want to do and you believe in yourself. And if you have to keep your goals and dreams personal to yourself, you do that. Now, the way to move energy into physical form using this law, as you know, I train the Silva method, and most of you on this call have done the Silva method. You visualize, because when you're visualizing, you're creating these images. Images are, in meditation, of focused, concentrated thought. With your eyes closed, your mind is so concentrated and powerful, you're creating very powerful vibrations, which are your thoughts, which then, as we know, like mirror of the mind, we say, you've got to get emotionally engaged. Emotion is the creative force. That emotion is a firmer form of vibration. And when you've got this concentrated vibration, you are moving energy into physical form. You're already starting the manifestation. And then just to add, which will come again somewhere towards the end of this lesson, an idea is a manifestation. If you're visualizing a goal, let me just give you an example. You visualize that you want more money and you see yourself having more money and you see yourself how you're living now and how you're spending it and the difference and the benefits in your life. Then you do this visualizing every day. Okay? Then you're having a shower, you're going for a walk or you're relaxing and suddenly you get an idea. hey, why don't I call that person and set up this particular event towards, creating some opportunity for you? Or why don't you launch this thing or apply for that thing or do this course or whatever it may be? That idea, my friends, is the first manifestation, because an idea is also energy moving into form. Okay? So be very deliberate. And for this law, absolutely visualize daily. And remember, if you are a Silva graduate and you do the Mirror of the Mind, you repeat the white frame only. We do not repeat the blue frame. So for those of you who are not Silva graduates, just ignore that. Just visualize daily having what it is that you want. And I've said this on many other lessons before, but I'll say it again. You've got to visualize. If you want something to materialize, you have to repeat it in your mind so often that you create such repeated neurological pathways that eventually you create a totally new permanent neural pathway in your brain, which is called a belief. Once you have a belief, the manifestation comes into physical form, and they've proven through science and neuroscience that it takes 30 days. 30 days without missing one day to create a new neural pathway. I've explained this before with the astronauts and their goggles, which make the image inside out and back to front in NASA. And between day 25 and 30, the image corrected itself, and they said, wow, we didn't know that. And they did the experiment again, took the goggles off for one day, and it took an additional 25 to 30 days to change that image. So I'm busy right now doing in my own life. I've got an app on my phone for anybody who wants to use it. It's called Habit Bull. Habit, HIBITBULL. And I've put in 2 or 3 or 4 things that I want to do every single day for more than 30 days, because I want to create new neural pathways. And I've used this before in my life, and boy, my manifestations really work. So I'm visualizing, for an example, a certain thing every single day for a minimum of 30 days and beyond. I'll continue beyond 30 days. You don't just stop, you keep going. But the point is, the first 30 days, you cannot skip one day. If you skip one day, my friends, I'm sorry, you've got to start again from day 1. Okay. And then you will manifest your goals. You will be surprised as to what you can do. And I want to add here, I don't know if any of you ever get anxious. I don't know if any of you ever get depressed. I don't know if any of you ever suffer from time to time with doubt or some form of underlying fear or overwhelm. These are very serious conditions, and all they are is a practiced thought. So if you take my advice on board about visualizing every day, I just want you to visualize what kind of life or outcome you actually want. And if you visualize every single day, even if you're suffering from anxiety or worry about whatever issue it is, let's just say it's money, and you visualize yourself having more every day for 30 days, my friends, I promise you will find after day 7 a change in you. That anxiety just lifts. After about 14 days, you actually start to feel prosperous. It's like the first time in ages you have a different feeling day in and day out, and it feels wonderful. As you continue for 3 weeks, you really start to feel, for some reason, like you can conquer the world. You feel invincible. Just keep going. You pass day 30. I'm telling you, you've built a new neural pathway, what the mind can conceive and now believe it shall achieve. Give yourself a fighting chance with your goals and just apply the 30-day principle. Don't give up on yourselves. Believe in yourselves and really do it. All I want for you is to achieve and go forward and prosper. Okay, thoughts become things. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand. And it's very true. Repeat, repeat, repeat for 30 days. Okay, the next is the law of relativity. I'm going to do it faster now because we kind of got the gist of the bulk of the most important laws. As you can see at the bottom of the screen is a little, I'm going to mute someone's phone here, is a little shoebox. Well, I shouldn't say little, is a shoebox. It just is a shoebox. Now my question is a shoebox big or small? Well, it just is. It's not big or small, it just is. If I related that shoebox to a little tiny ring jewelry box, then the shoebox is big. Now we know what it is. If I relate it to a packing crate, oh, well, then it's small. So the point is, nothing is good or bad. Nothing is big or small until you relate it to something. Everything just is until we compare it to something else. All things are relative. All situations in your life that you think are bad, they're not actually bad. They just are. You in your mind are relating it to something better than that, and you are feeling bad as a consequence. So if your bad situation is that shoebox, and it's a bad situation, you're looking at people with smaller boxes than you, smaller problems than you, and you think mine's really bad. If you looked at people with bigger problems than you, or thought of that relative to your situation, you'd realize that your situation really ain't that bad, and you wouldn't feel bad now, you would feel grateful. So there's no such thing as rich or poor, big or small, lack or abundance, success or failure, except by comparison. This is very difficult for some people to take on board. But just tell yourself, when you judge something, I'm wrong. It's not good or bad. It's only what it is because I made it so by my comparison. That's the point. Everything must be in harmony, agreement, and corresponding with each other. That just means all laws that I'm talking about are related to each other and they correspond with each other. So when you're looking at situations worse than yours and you're feeling good, you are then creating thoughts that are feeling good. The law of vibration then applies. You attract more good into your life. Thoughts are the perpetual transmutation of energy, just to say that all these laws are interrelated. Now, I'm here to share something quite unusual, but I want to share it for this webinar. So please go with me and just don't have to make notes, just watch the screen. I want to share with you the poverty levels in the world that were done with research up to 2015. And I'm doing this because it's the beginning of 2019. And I think a lot of us take a lot for granted. And the reason I want you to be aware of how much poverty there is in the world compared to how we live, maybe just after the next 5 or so minutes, you might have a total change of mind as to the situation that you potentially may have been complaining about in your own life or feeling upset about or resistant about in your own life when it comes to money. So 4.4 billion people live on $10,000 a day or less. So my friends, that's $300 a month. And it's not just, the minority, little tiny 1 or 2, million or whatever. It's 4.4 billion people live like that. Australia's population is 24 million, not even close to 1 billion. Do you realize how blessed we are, the way we live? That means that 71% of the world's population live below the breadline. If you had to know how you live, if you had to show your lifestyle, that you're living in an apartment, you've got clean running water, you've got a toilet that you can flush, you've got clothes to wear, a bed to sleep in, a refrigerator, whether it's empty or full, doesn't matter. The fact that you got one, you are in the top 3% of the world's wealthy people. Most under 5-year-old deaths, that's 1 in 36 deaths in these poor countries compared to only 1 in 333 deaths for Australia, are caused by malnutrition, contaminated water, and poor hygiene. Why I mention this is these things are all preventable. No child has to die from a preventable thing like having not enough food or malnutrition or contaminated water or poor hygiene. The average number of children dying each day is 25,000 a day. And more than 91% of those deaths is caused by those malnutrition, contaminated water, and poor hygiene. That's unnecessary. Globally, in 2016, over 63 million children were not attending school because they're poor. They don't have access to school. They live in rural areas with poor conditions. They're either too sick to attend school or too far away from a living school or not enough money to go to school, or they have to work as a child because there's not enough to feed them. It's a life or death situation. 63 million. As I said, the population of Australia is only 24 million. This is staggering. 2.1 billion people lack access to safe, readily available water at home. 2.1 people cannot open a tap in their house and have safe water to drink. 1 billion people don't have access to safe drinking water, period, at all. Not even if they walked for 2 to 5 days. There is no clean water that's safe to drink at all where they live. 1 billion people. So when we think about these kind of statistics, you've got to say, oh my God, we are so blessed. We live like the mega rich. Look at that picture of those children in India. 276 million people live on less than $1.25 a day. You ask yourself, how do these people eat? If you look at the pictures below, that's a picture of somewhere in Africa, and below that is a what you call a shanty town or a squatter camp in Africa. And people live like that, not one, not two, but if you go around the world, billions of people live like that. So my friends, we are really very blessed. And I mention this because the law of relativity is, how do you relate yourself to? Who are you comparing yourself to? The person who's driving the Aston Martin, living in a $9 million home in Bondi, and making yourself depressed on what you have? You can change the way you feel about your abundance and the way you feel about your wealth and your level of gratitude if you just looked at these statistics every day. Maybe print out this page and read it every day. Remind yourself of what you have access to, and how blessed you truly are. I want to show you this quick video. It is an advert for a company, a charity called Charity Water. I personally support them, but please watch this video because this story might change something inside you forever. And if it makes you want to donate to these people afterwards, I'm so happy, and I've done good in sharing this with you, and I would recommend anyone donate to this charity. So let's have a quick look here.
With all that we have in the world today, one would think that drinking water, a basic human need, would be a given. But in reality, this is far from the truth. In this current caring pod, you will meet a 30-year-old who's made it his life mission to fix this problem, one water bottle at a time.
My name is Scott Harrison. I run a charity called Charity. We go into the poorest communities right now, 4 countries in Africa, and we dig wells and provide people with clean water. $20 bottle of water. We give 100% of the money straight to dig wells. There's nothing special about this bottle. We buy it for 34 cents. We have a separate group of donors to buy the water so that I can give 100% away. And I guess what we're saying to people is, listen, we drink bottled water almost every day. It costs us $1.50, $2 in New York City. You know, so I guess what I'm saying is give 10 times what you would, and we'll give it all away. This story is so simple. You know, a billion people that don't have water, we can help them and dig wells and then see the results of what clean water can do. So, you know, for 10 years, I lived the most sort of selfish, sycophant's life that I could, and I was absolutely miserable. So, you know, I just bailed, and I wanted it to be extreme. You know, I said, hey, I want to go to the poorest country in the world, and I'll dedicate a year of my life to humanitarian service and sort of see where it leads. You see 7,000 people standing in the field with no access to health care. And, you know, a lot of these diseases, you know, huge 7-pound tumors, cleft lips, flesh-eating disease, some of them caused by lack of water and sanitation. So after these 8 months in Liberia photographing on the ship, I came back. I think I flew in at 3:30 in New York, 5:30. I'm on the roof of the Soho House having a $16 margarita. And I guess the two worlds just collided, you know. $16 in Liberia can feed 4 people per month. Had all these images, so I did this exhibition to raise awareness and to raise money. And it worked. There's nothing I'd rather do. This is in Rwanda, about an hour south of the capital, and there were just these kids waiting to scoop out from a little hole, which is part of this pond, and they could only get the water out 1 cup at a time. This child's in Ethiopia, and as you can see in this child, I don't know if you can see the feet, but he has parasites in his feet. He also has parasites in his stomach from bending over and getting stagnant water. This is the well rig, one of the rigs we fund. That's Kurt. He's back from Seattle. He's training 4 Ethiopians to be able to take over this operation. It's amazing how clean the water is. Just the look on these kids' faces. I love this photo. It's you know, I love the dirty fingernails. Just the water is just so clean, and it's really just like it's a mind-numbing, like simple process. Like just going down into the ground, and you know, taking a pond filled with scum to clean water. People ask me all the time, like, hey, you know, I want to go, I want to help. Normally my first reaction to them is just go. Just turn up in Liberia, turn up in Rwanda. There's an orphanage that needs your help. There's a hospice that needs your help. You can just engage. And I love seeing how that experience changes people. You know, in service really comes freedom. You know, the more I was concerned about myself and how much money I could make, or you know, what things that I could sort of amass, you know, the unhappier I became. And I think that's true with a lot of people. And, you know, working with the poor, working to make people's lives better who have nothing, there's nothing better to do in the world.
So that's the video. I hope that it made a relative impact on everybody. It sure did make an impact on me. And, you know, something as simple as water. Before the webinar started and Joanna was on first, I said, I'm coming back now. I'm just going to quickly grab some water. And here I'm pouring it. I just ran into the kitchen, go and pour myself a bottle of clean water out the tap. And you think these people don't have access to clean water no matter how and far, over 1 billion of them. So we do have a lot to be grateful for. And as he said, the more we chase things and have the awareness that we don't have them, the more unhappy we are. But when we change our perception, this webinar is about perception, and look at our circumstances relative to these people's circumstances, it just really breaks my heart. And for me to take $100 or $200 or even $500 and donate to charity water, it immediately changes everything inside me, because I feel I'm the one who's so wealthy and abundant, and I've got so much I can give. And by golly, I want to give. I don't want to see anybody not having access to drinking water. It's a basic human right, in my opinion. So I hope that's left an impression for you. And I just want to say again, if you do want to donate to charity water, 100% of the money you donate goes to building wells and giving it to the people in the communities. All the costs to run the company, they raise by asking for sponsorships through large companies. They're 2 separate bank accounts totally. And I think it's wonderful, and this guy's amazing. And please go onto YouTube and watch their story. It's a 22-minute video. You can't miss it. It says 22 minutes. And you'll see this guy's story and what he did and how he got to what he's doing for these poorer countries and water. So basically, in summary, the law of relativity says practice relating your situation to something much worse, and yours will always look good. Be grateful for the simple things that maybe we take for granted. Maybe you don't, but maybe you do. For example, 2.5 billion people have no proper sanitation. They don't have a toilet. They use the street, they use the river, they use the bushes, they use anywhere. So every time you take a shower, every time you use a toilet, whether you're in a shopping center or in your own home, or you can wash your hands after using the toilet or take a shower, just know that the water that we're running over our soapy bodies to rinse in the shower is more important to some people who haven't even got any water to drink. Here's another example. 1.2 billion people, have no access to electricity. They have to go and find things to burn and then start a fire and then only able to cook. So the next time you cook a meal and turn on the gas or switch on the oven, just say a quick thought of gratitude for what we have, and stay in a state of gratitude, because we do have so much. And the law of relativity is one of the most powerful and important universal laws to really grasp and apply every day in your life. It will keep you in a state of gratitude. And whatever you think about, you attract. So the more grateful you are, the more blessed your life will be. And the more you give, the more prosperous you feel. So the more blessed you will be. The more you give, the more you get. We don't say give to get. It's not an ulterior motive. But when you give, you feel so good about giving. That feeling attracts more abundance into your life. Okay, so quickly, the law of polarity. Everything in the universe has an opposite. Failure is never just isolated. Failure is always accompanied by seeds of success. The polar opposites in everything, like two sides of a stick. Abraham Hicks calls it two sides of a stick. The law of polarity not only states that everything has an opposite, but it is equal and opposite. So in the book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill says, within every temporary defeat lies the seed of an equivalent advantage. So when we think of the law of polarity, the way to understand it is that we often judge things and say, oh, this is bad. Anything in your life that you judge and say bad, I'm telling you, somehow, some way, there's some good in that. It could be the passed on loved one. There's some good in that. It could be the disease. There's some good in that. It could be the poverty. There's some good in that. It could be the retrenchment that's unexpected. There's some good in that. It could be an accident and someone got hurt. There's some good in that. You might not see it at that minute, but in hindsight, looking back, you will see how many people say that their cancer or their disease was a big blessing in their life for some reason. It's the law of polarity. There's a good in every bad, and there's a bad in every good. So it's just to have this awareness that everything has an opposite. So when you think about even money, it's, as Abraham Hicks says, it's like a stick. If you pick up, or like a pen, there's two sides to this pen, poverty and abundance. If we're focusing on abundance, but you're walking through your life every day thinking, I don't have this abundance yet, it's my 2019 goal, and I want this extra money and I don't have it, you're actually focusing on this side of the stick, which is the lack of this side. So every stick has an opposite. So the law of polarity is very important for you to understand, is what are you focusing on? So that last line says, do you love abundance more than you dislike poverty? Because whichever feeling is stronger inside you is what you're going to manifest. If you dislike not having money so much, you feel it every day, you're just going to never have money. You're going to attract more not having. But even if you got zero in your bank account, but you just feel abundance. Now, let me tell you, I'm doing this meditation. It's too fantastic on abundance. It's Bob Proctor. You can just Google it on YouTube, Bob Proctor and abundance. He says, look at the leaves and the trees and the blades of grass. Try count them on one bush. You couldn't. It'll take you so long. And if you try to say, oh, there's only so many leaves, by the time you've counted the last one on the row, there's another leaf grown on the tree behind you. You can never. There's an abundance. It never ends. There's an abundance of air and oxygen. There's an abundance of water. As much as we should save water because there's a cost to it. We should save water You see that video I showed you? There's a cost to water and we should save it. So I'm not saying having a feeling of lack, but it's just being conscientious. But just remember, there's two sides to every stick. So the thing that you want, if you focus on not having it, your awareness is on the not having, and you are attracting more of the not having. So live, if you have to, in this imaginary state of the having, no matter how you go about creating that having, but you got to feel yourself into the feeling place of the having, not the awareness that you don't have it yet. And this is important when it comes to your goals. That's why visualizing having it and having the feelings associated with having it is the best thing you can do, because then you are creating those feelings, and those feelings are going to manifest. And when you repeat them and you create new neural pathways, what the mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve, it will manifest. Okay, so what is your awareness? I said that, abundance or lack thereof. So it just says it's empowering. The law of polarity says the opposite of what you don't want already exists. Change your thoughts about it and you'll change your life. The law of rhythm. Something must advance when anything retreats. Think of a wave. A wave comes in, shh, it goes out. Shh. It's the law of rhythm. The tide comes in, low tide goes out. Night follows day. Good times follow bad. There's always a reaction to every action. This law governs the movement of the planets. We know as the earth turns, there's night and day. As the earth turns, you know, the moon gives us the high and low tide. Everything is a cycle. Everything is a rhythm. It also manifests in nature. If you look at that tree, all the seasons are a rhythm. You don't have to wonder if a maple tree with green leaves in summer is going to have crimson leaves in autumn. It just happens. Why? Because this universe operates by law. Everything operates by law, including you. A woman has a rhythm of her own with a menstrual cycle. A man may not have that, but it's been proven that he also has a monthly cycle of his moods and his biorhythms and his feeling of strength and energy versus low energy. So we all have it. We all have highs and lows. So just having the awareness of the law of rhythm, just know that when you're on a downswing, just go with it. If you need to rest, sleep. If you need to take it easy for that day or two, take it easy. Don't fight it. You know, whatever it is, if you're feeling bad, just go with the flow. Just know that the good times are coming. So we can suppress and transform undesirable thought by concentrating on the opposite. That's the law of polarity. We can do that. But also just know, if you're having bad times, good times are coming. Everything is a swing. Nothing lasts forever. There's a saying, it says, this too shall pass. It's not just a way to get over bad times. It's the truth. This too shall pass, and better times will come. You know, when I did Vipassana, 10-day meditation, the teaching there was a guy who had a ring, and he engraved in the ring, this will change also. So even good times and wonderful times, they will also change. They're going to go away. So the point is, never get too unhappy about bad times and never get too ecstatic about good times. Just be in harmony, be in balance. You know, it's called the middle way. In fact, in the Tao Te Ching, the wonderful book of the Tao, it says it's called the middle way. Okay. The law of cause and effect, this I say is the law of all laws. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. Every effect must have a cause. Every cause must have an effect. All the results you have right now, you caused them. Sorry to tell you that. Good ones, well done. Bad ones, I'm sorry, it's true. By the same token, whatever you're doing today is causing the effect in the future. What you sow, you will reap. Say good things to everyone. Treat everyone with total respect and kindness. It will come back to you. There's a law, it's not in this presentation, called the law of circulation. It says, you know, what you give will come back to you. Give, like to donate to charity. The more you give, truly, give your time, give your love, give your money, give willingly, give with an open heart, the more will flow back into your life. It's just the law of cause and effect, just termed the law of circulation. It's the same law. It's also called karma. Karma is a universal law. It's the law of cause and effect. That's all it is. It's just got a different name. So never worry about what you're going to get in life. Just concentrate on what you can give. If it's going to work, give your best. In everything you do, give your best. If you don't like your work, when you want to change it, do that in the background and find, other jobs and look for them and put your resume out. But whilst you're going to work every day, do your best. Give go the extra mile. Give all you can. So as you sow, you shall reap. So every thought, every action has a consequence. Even thoughts like negative thoughts or thoughts of jealousy, thoughts of anger, thoughts of resentment. The only person you're harming is yourself. They all come back to you. Did you know that every single one of your life experiences is basically the law of cause and effect? Whether it's in this lifetime or another, every experience in your life is the law of cause and effect in play. Okay, last, the law of gender. The law of gender says that everything has a gestation period. So this law governs creation. For anything to manifest, it must have an incubation or gestation period, just like a baby. I think a baby is 280 days, and maybe a certain animal is 7 days, a tiny insect, or something else will be maybe 30 or 40 days. That gestation period is different. So everything has this in life. So ideas are spiritual seeds. And just like a seed, there's a time for a seed to germinate and grow to become a plant. It takes a time for it to move into physical form. An idea is the same. We can't expect to have an idea and for instant manifestation, but know that the minute you have the idea until its manifestation is actually the law of transmutation of energy. We did that earlier, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That gap in between is that law of gender, or the law of this energy moving into form. So your goals, from the minute you have them and you visualize on them, every time you're visualizing, you are sowing seeds. It's like you put the seed in the ground and then you water it, and it's like watering it. That's a better analogy. You water and water that seed every time you visualize. You might not see anything come out the ground for 4 weeks. Some seeds take even longer. But then they pop out the ground and the plant starts to grow. Your goals will manifest when the time is right. I want you to say this out loud. You reap what you sow, but never in the same season. Say it. You reap what you sow, or I reap. I reap what I sow, but never in the same season. I reap what I sow, but never in the same season. You need to know this, and that's why there's the saying that never be attached to the outcome. You've heard me teach this in the Silva method. Have a goal, visualize, but don't attach to the outcome, because then you're attached to, I have to have it, and I have to have it now, and I've got to be under these circumstances. No, just let go, surrender, trust the universe will take care of it. That's allowing this time of gestation to take this thing that you want and bring it into physical form. There is a time period. What I can tell you is the timeline from an idea to its manifestation is the timeline. How can you shorten it? We all want to shorten that timeline because we want to manifest our goals and you want to manifest them soon. The way you can shorten the timeline is through concentration. Concentrating that vibration, that thought. So concentrating effort, concentrating energy, concentrating feeling, concentrating your mood, concentrating deliberate action. How can you put more into your goal? Because the more you do that, the more momentum you put there, the more you're going to swing and bring that goal into form. Okay? If you want improvement in any area of your life and success, you're going to want to learn to work with and apply these laws, these universal laws. And if you do, my friends, and you just remember these every day, everything starts to happen with ease. And just to end off, the depth of your abundance, an abundance in any area. This is love, relationships, money, spirituality, health, happiness, success, achievement of goals. That's abundance. The depth of your abundance depends on the depth of your gratitude. That's why the law of relativity, that one about the water or looking at a shoe box and a jewelry box and the big box, what do you compare yourself to, is so important. It brings us into a state of gratitude. When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. If ever you are worried about health or money, the two big things, get grateful. Become grateful for what it is that you do have. There's always someone else worse off than you. No matter your health, you know there's someone lying in a hospital bed right now on life support or dialysis or, in some terrible state. There's always someone else worse off than us. That's what you need to remember. And then you get grateful for where you are. And then your fear disappears and abundance appears. Abundance flows when I allow my heart to open wide and feel the love that is within. The love. Love and gratitude are the two most powerful energies that create good things. And it's not happy people who are thankful. It's thankful people who are happy. That's a beautiful thought. I want to end off with that, because that really is the secret to our lives. The secret to happiness is to be grateful, appreciative, and thankful for every breath you take. Every breath. The fact that you can breathe easy is already a blessing. A friend of mine passed on with cystic fibrosis. She couldn't breathe. She died suffering to breathe. So be thankful for every breath you take, every glass of water you drink. Give thanks. Okay, so be grateful as well for these universal laws and that you got the awareness and you understood them, because they empower you now to co-create whatever it is that you want in your life, because we do co-create. Co-create with Source or God, whichever name you give it. And last and not least, you are a powerful creator of your own reality. We are not victims. We are creators in this world. Okay, someone's learned how to annotate on the presentation and is drawing on the screen. All right, last, lead your life and be a positive influence. When it says here, keep calm, kids are watching. If you have children, I would recommend share these laws with them. Teach these 7 laws to your children. Help them understand it. If they're small, in simple English. If they're older, in these very same terms. And if you don't have children, then be a living example. Everyone's watching you, especially children. Help them understand when you're achieving success or you are happy or you are healthy, how it is that you create that for yourself, and share it with them that they can create it in their lives too. Okay, guys, we really are late. It's 9:15. So if there are any questions, get right into asking them to me right now. Otherwise, go grab yourself a pen and paper. We're going to do the guided meditation now. For anyone who's new to the call, so are there any questions first and foremost? No? Yes? Well, if there are, just speak out. I won't ask you. Get a pen and paper quickly, please. And we're going to do a guided meditation now where we reset the body and we reset the mind. How wonderful for the new year ahead, for January 2019. Then we're going to set your intention for the month and how you want to start off the year. What do you want to focus on for the month ahead? And I'm going to ask you these questions at the end, once you're relaxed. And then you just tune in to your higher self and you'll get inspiration or intuition. And your first impressions, you just write down and you'll get some nice answers there, which are truth for you. And I want you to just know that for yourself, you can ask at any time and get answers in a state of meditation. And you will get these same answers. Okay. So if you're all ready, just get yourselves into a comfortable position. For me, I'm just going to switch my camera off so you don't know that I'm, watching you or anything strange. I'm just going to be leaving you to your own devices. No one's watching you, so just relax. So make sure that you're comfortable. Close your eyes. And now take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, allow the tensions in your body just to release and float away. Take another deep belly breath in, and as you exhale, just feel your body relaxing. Feel the tension leaving your scalp. Relax your scalp. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your tongue and jaw. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Relax your arms all the way down to your hands. Take another deep breath. And as you exhale, feel the tension leaving your back. From the top all the way down your spine. Now relax your chest. Relax your abdomen. Relax your hips and pelvic area. Now take another deep breath and allow the tension to leave your thighs. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet. All the way down to your toes. You are now feeling very relaxed. You will not fall asleep, you will stay awake, but you'll feel very relaxed. Now you're going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, either somewhere that you've been or maybe somewhere that you'd like to go, but allow it to be a place that you feel totally relaxed. So go there in your mind and begin to experience this place right now. Now that you've created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light into the scene. Place it wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under this cascading, beautiful white light. The light is a healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of white light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under this beautiful white healing light. Allow this white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. Feel it clearing your stress. Feel it clearing the tension and the clutter of the entire past year. Feel it clearing the clutter, the stress, the tension of your entire lifetime. This white healing energy is clearing your aura, your atmosphere. And as it clears your energy field, notice how much happier you look. See yourself. See how happy you are. Notice the smile on your face. See how all those weights you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation, and then immerse yourself in this healing white light, anytime, anywhere. Now take a deep breath, relax and go deeper, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I will be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is pure, unconditional love. It surrounds you, it encompasses you, it flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All those hurts you felt, all the pains you felt, the angry moments, allow this green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and energized. You are able to think more clearly, focus more easily. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Just take a moment now to bask in this feeling of connectedness and love. You have now reset your body and mind for the month. It is now time to set your intention for the month. Tune into your inner wisdom, your higher self, that part of you that, if you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. As I count backwards from 10 to 1, feel yourself tuning in to universal source energy or your higher self, where all your guidance and intuition lies. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have now tuned into your higher wisdom. Feel the alignment with your higher self. Feel the connection. And now ask yourself the following questions. And whatever comes to mind, just write down your first impressions. Don't analyze them or think about them. Just write down your first impressions. And then once you've got an answer, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter your calm state. Ask yourself, what do I need to focus on for the month of January? What do I need to focus on for the month of January? Whatever comes to mind, just write it down. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just re-enter the meditation. The next question is, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. The third question is, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of? And lastly, is there anything else I need to know or do? Is there anything else I need to know or do? Whatever comes to mind, just write it down. Now allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, just relax. Slowly bring your attention back to your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and have a big stretch. Blessings to all of you. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Are you all still alive? Anybody have some answers they want to share, or just that they had helpful answers? You want to share that you had any answers at all? Just unmute your microphones if you want to speak. Yep, someone was going to speak.
That's always very helpful, extremely helpful.
Excellent. Okay. Anyone else want to add anything? Yes, no? Okay. If you want to, just do it at any time. You don't have to wait for me. All right. So thank you so much. That was really good. I hope you got some value out of that. Just trust the answer that you got come from a higher place of truth. The most important thing is that you do honor them. And you do follow the guidance that you got from the answers. We need to really, it's a must. We need to honor the guidance we get and follow it. So next time, Meaningful Monday, is what's necessary to achieve your goals. Now, this is really a follow-on from this one, because this one's about understanding universal law. And this is how everything in this universe operates. Whether you believe it or not, that's how it happens. So understanding these laws is very helpful. But there's also, you know, and also visualizing. That's all inside, in the mind, how we think, how we feel. Now, what do we need to do in the outside world when it comes to daily action and behaviors, the words behaviors, to achieve our goals? There are some fundamental behaviors that any personal development guru is going to recommend, and I'm going to share that with you on next Meaningful Monday in February. It's a perfect time because many people get a slow start into the year through January. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. But in February, we can kick off with some certain behaviors that if we do adopt them, you will be more effective and successful. Hands down, you will. So I'll give you those tools and tips. They'll be very helpful for you. So please make sure you join in next month. Just for Silva Method events, they're the dates for the new classes coming up. February, we've got a 4-day. April, we've got a 4-day. There's a kids class after the April 4-day for everyone. It's 13th and 14th. Silva Kids is just day 1 and 2 of the Silva Method 4-day. It's just basically Silva Life System, done for children, geared around them. If anyone wants to send their child, they've got to be between the ages of 8 and 12, and at least one parent needs to be a graduate. So if the date comes and your child is, and one of the parents is not a graduate, then, and you haven't got onto an earlier class, I just say then let your child join you in a normal adult class, because that's also fine. Okay, that's really it. I'm not going to carry on for tonight. That's really it. I'm going to wrap it up there. If there's anyone who's got any questions, please ask me. I'm going to just stop the recording so you cannot be on recording and be concerned about that.